Chris Perry, welcome to the podcast.
Excited to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yes, sir. Big news in Stillwater, man. Give us your thoughts, man. I'm excited for you guys.
Yeah, we're excited. Glad to get Coleman Scott back. He coached me, when I won my first national title in 2012. So I'm excited, man. He's had some head coaching experience. Great guy, great family, great wife. 3 kids, and just good people, man. Just good people, motivating people to be around. Has a goal and set, and we're ready to take this journey with him. Excited.
It's funny. I just had Teague Moore on the podcast not 15 minutes ago, and I'm thinking about all the great lineage at Oklahoma State, and I didn't even think about Coleman coaching you when you were there. So when was he around for you?
It was he left after my first national title. He was in the corner with John when I wrestled Matt Brown in 2012.
Okay.
What's crazy is when I was growing up in high school, I was about Coleman's size, so I used to train with him all the time, and he actually gave me that opportunity. I mean, a lot actually.
In high school?
Yeah, he put it on me pretty good, but I got the opportunity at camps and stuff to at OSU wrestling camp to work out with him about every day. He was getting ready for the world trials or something, so I had that opportunity growing up as a kid, so it was pretty special for me.
Was he the one who pinned Joey Slayton in about a minute in the NCAA finals?
Yeah, it was like probably the first 30 seconds of the match. It was
that was crazy.
Yeah, it was one of the more special times in OSU wrestling there.
Yeah, no doubt. No, I was looking through it, man, and like you look at your squad when you were there, J.O., Caldwell, you had who am I missing? Derringer, thank you.
And then we had Alan Galagaeff, we had John Morrison, we had 7 All-Americans, Blake Rushholt, and we lost by half a point.
What year was that?
That would be in 2012. We lost by half a point. Penn State had 4 finalists and no All-Americans. We had 7 and 2 finalists.
No,
and we had,
shit.
Yeah, we had 5 in the top 3.
God almighty. Yeah, John Morrison, Illinois legend. Wow. Yeah. That's crazy. So, there's so much going on in wrestling right now. And like typically when we talk to people, we talk a little bit about their career. Chris, you were one of our first guests, man. So we're going to hit on some old stuff, but I want to hit first and foremost on, you 17, you 20, you guys just got back from Jordan. What was Jordan like?
It was good. I actually enjoyed it. Had a tough draw, I think. That was the only hard part. The trip was actually, if everything could have went wrong, it went wrong for us. Our flight got canceled, had a 10-hour layover, and everybody got food poisoning, and they lost their bags. So I was like, all right, well, if we're going to win it, this is how we're winning it. And then we drew the 4-time world champ from Iran, second match. And it was pretty, he pecked everybody through the whole tournament. And it's like, all right, well,
yeah.
So it was good. It was nice over there. I was actually pretty shocked. I expected a little different, but we enjoyed the experience, and we'll learn from it. We weren't satisfied with what happened, but it's part of it. If you're going to be the best in the world, you got to beat the best in the world.
Is it the warm-up area looked like a tent?
Yeah, it was out. It was outside in the back, pretty small. You got you didn't have much room. Better shoot your high crotches and single legs pretty tight.
Now, was the Russian team? I know they were competing under the neutral banner, but like when you're back there in the warm-up area, is like Team Russia hanging out together, or like, what's the scene there?
I didn't really see them, to be honest, back there. I don't know if they were. I didn't. It's so crowded back there. It's even hard to find where's who and who's what. USA was, Iran was. We were right next to them. And I saw a couple in Japan, and that's about it. You could barely see. It's just a bunch of wrestlers crowded. It looks like the Little League tournaments where everybody's trying to get on the map.
That's so funny. Yeah, it looked like that. It's not a place you typically hear about wrestling tournaments being held, but I'm sure they're trying to build things up out there. So, yeah, I heard about the food poisoning too. It just seems like a crazy experience.
Yeah, it was. We're still kind of dealing with it, all of us, which is crazy. about 10 days into it. But I don't know if it was the water or the food or that made it hard on everybody. I think I know the women's team had it pretty bad. I roomed with my brother, so he was the worst. And then I think he coached Kennedy, and she was in bad shape when I saw her. I think she had it the worst for sure.
She was in dire straits from what I hear.
Yeah. Oh yeah. When I saw, he told me that she could barely even hold herself up. And so he was proud of her, I think, for just getting out there and throwing it on the line. I mean, I think he was even hesitant of her doing it, pretty scared about it. And she wanted to do it, he said, and ended up with a bronze medal. So pretty cool.
Pretty damn good. Yeah, I mean, Kennedy Blades is amazing. And, what your brother's building out there at the Sunkiss program is awesome. I didn't even think about you guys rooming together.
Yeah, he showed up. I think he was about 2 days after me. But yeah, it was cool. It was good to see him. Been a while since we've been in the same room. He's been gone at Blair since he's 15. So we're back to roommates again.
That's freaking crazy, man. And you look at the U23 landscape, you guys got Plot on the team. When's the U23 Worlds?
We got Plot and Sammy Alvarez. Sammy's actually going out there too for Puerto Rico. That's not till I think it's in October or November, like second week. He's going to go out there. Then we wrestle in 2 weeks after that in college. So he wants to do it. He made the world team. Once you do it, the year before that he made it, and Staraki got third and took his spot. So, he was automatic. Once you place in the trials, you kind of get to take their spot. So, I think that he was a little upset about that, but it is what it is. It's the rules, I guess. And
yeah,
so he made the team this year. He's excited, and the chance to go win a world championship for him is that's the goal down the road. So he wants to go put it on the line, and I think he's getting there. He's really made some jumps this summer, and went over to the seniors at Poland with Dayton and them and got third. But first time overseas was in Poland. So he's never done it. And he's excited to go, put it out there.
Wow. I didn't realize Alvarez made it as well for Puerto Rico.
Yeah. He's going to go over there. And we're going to have two there, and it should be fun. I think it's in as of right now. I heard they're switching the location again. It was in Finland, or I think Finland, and they're switching it from. We don't know yet. They still haven't announced it. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they kind of did it on us last minute with Jordan deal too. We had a parent, Christian's dad, bought a ticket, so already to Poland. It kind of, I don't know. That's UWW.
And you guys got I think you can talk about him because he's an incoming freshman, a really, really studly wrestler from Illinois, Braden Thompson. Talk about him, man. What'd you see in him? What are you excited for?
I've been with Braden really since he was a little kid, which is crazy. He grew up in Kansas City. And I used to do wrestling camps, and I've worked with him forever. I think he might be the first camp I ever did in college, and he was there.
Wow.
So just super excited about him, man. He's a winner. That's all I can say about him. I've been around a lot of wrestlers in my life, and it's not the flashiest. It's not the best. He will get his hand raised. It's just who he is. And it reminds me a lot of, I don't want to compare him and exaggerate so much, but reminds me a lot of like a Kyle Dake. It might not always be the 10-point win but he's gonna win, and it's just who he is. It's like I've seen him win 1,000 1-point matches, and it's just like he wins every one of them. I've never seen him lose one, and it's just that's what's special about him. He knows the moment. He knows how to compete when it gets hard. He knows how to get it done, and that's all that matters in the long run. I wasn't the flashiest wrestler, and people probably didn't even like watching me wrestle, but it doesn't matter. When you let that go with your ego and everything, and you realize at the end of the day, nobody remembers the score.
Right.
They remember if you won or lost. I think it's key, and he knows how to do that. He's one of my, he's like a brother to me. So it's, he's one I've had since he's a little baby, and that's important to me. He's almost family to me. So, I'm excited about him. He's doing really well right now. He's a little bit caught between weights this summer. Was a little light. I think he weighed in at like 4 pounds, 5 pounds under at U20 U20s and went 86 and still made the finals. It's
Wow.
like, and he got a little outsized in the finals. He was winning that match, got hit in the double, gave up 4, but went over to Poland, wrestled some guys, and then it was plus 2 kilos over there, and it was like, oh gosh, now we're really underweight. And then he's
Right.
learning. He's right there, man. He's going to be right there. He's going to be ready to win. He's ready to win right away, I think. I really believe that. So I'm excited about it, and he's got a lot to give.
Yeah. I mean, you guys have had, a pipeline of some of the very best Illinois wrestlers ever going on to Oklahoma State. You talk about John Morrison, the great Albert White, Mike Benefiel. Now, these names might not mean something to everyone, but in Illinois, legendary status. But, Albert White, yeah. Remember him?
Albert White, yeah. Me and Albert White were roommates.
No shit.
Yeah, I was just down there with Albert in Little Rock. We had a retreat this summer, and I was down there with him and Neil Ayersman, and then we took all our guys down there and trained with Little Rock this summer. So it was cool. Albert's one of my good buddies. I'll tell you what, if Albert's injury never happened, I promise you he was going to be a Division I national champ. If Albert would have never broke his neck, he was going to win it. He was undefeated when I was in college on my team at 157, and then we bumped him actually in a dual meet to 74, 2 weight classes up to wrestle Dorian Henderson, who was ranked like 7, and he was up by 6 in the first period. Albert was. I was like, Jesus. And shot another double leg, and his neck cracked back, and that was it.
Is that the national duels?
National duels, the scariest moment, because I had to go out next. I was crying on the side of the mat, and it was like it's one of the things I've ever been through. Was watching that. You watch one of your teammates or your buddies, and he's not moving well. That ain't good.
No, it's like, man, you think about Illinois' Team Illinois at Fargo that year, Benefiel, Albert White, John Morrison. It's like, good Lord, like that was a special time, and you guys got all 3 of them. Like that's.
Mike was great, man. Mike beat me at Fargo, and he was like, when I remember going to that tournament, everybody knew Mike Benefield.
Really?
I mean, I was, and he won that tournament in my bracket, and I think Mike beat me every time in high school.
Yeah, he's another special talent. Yeah, it's crazy, man, and it's like the Oklahoma State's been consistent and in the top tier for so long. You look at now, like the wrestling now has changed so much, especially in our world, right? We got new Arizona State in the Big 12. That's got to be exciting. I mean,
yeah, we're excited to add more teams. I mean, you know what? The more competition and the closer we can get to the Big 10, and be in that type of conference and having that type of competition, and the more qualifiers we can get, let's do it. I don't care who it is. Whoever wants to come over, if we can add good teams, we're going to add them, and hopefully we can add some more. I would like to see, I know Oregon State's way up there, but I'd like to see them get realigned. I hope they're wanting to get them, obviously, and why not? Come on.
I feel like they have to. Like they're going to have, if Oregon State doesn't get in the Big 10 or the Big 12, budgets are going to be waxed. Like they need to get in, and that's going to be awesome for wrestling. You think about Pendleton getting in there? Heck yeah.
He's done a great job there. They're competitive now. They're right there in the top 15 in the country. Consistently now. He's got a dual team that can beat anybody. And it's just like, this is what we need. This is what it's about. I think these athletic directors or whatever, the conference realignment, like, dude, it's about competition. Let's do it. Put them in a conference, worrying about who's got money. And at this point, it's about helping the sports. So, you
talk about, you got Damian Hahn at South Dakota State. They're doing great things. You guys are obviously perennial power. Iowa State's building. Missouri's really good. I can hear Shane Sparks getting nervous that I'm about to say that it's tougher than the Big 10, but it's getting close, man. It's getting close. It's in Arizona State. That's a legitimate addition to the conference.
Yeah, I think we're coming around the corner. I think it all depends. The ACC's gotten tough. Wrestling's getting tough.
Yeah.
That's the difference. Is what people aren't understanding in this sport is it ain't the same as when I was in college. It was us, Penn State, Minnesota, and Iowa, and Ohio State when I was in college. And outside of that, and I might be missing one or two. But outside of that, there's nobody that could even get close. We would win 7 out of 10 matches every time. It doesn't matter who you are. If you're ranked 6th, now it doesn't matter if you're ranked 20th. You're in a scrap in a dual meet if you're not, if the matchups aren't what you want. And it's great. It's what you want. This is what we've always wanted in our sport, whether it's affected my job with us losing or it doesn't. It's part of what we're trying to grow here.
Yeah.
And it's like, I think it's just key. It's look what wrestling's done. I mean, the rankings in high school. I had a conversation last night. Back when I was in high school, number 1 and 2 guy in the country in high school were totally separated from 3, 4, 5, 6 all the way to 20. Number 1 can lose to number 18 now in high school. I mean, it's like you said, the Albert Whites and the Benefields, and there's no more of those that just dominate their whole career and never lose a match in high school. I mean, I'd be mind blown if that's happened in the last 3 years where kids never lost a match in high school.
Yeah.
I mean,
and kids that have even won world titles battle and make it back on the team. It's like crazy.
Oh yeah. Or they go get beat in the state tournament in the finals or something.
Right. It's freaking
there's
nuts.
Been 1 or 2 of those, I bet. It's just it's wrestling's getting that tough, but I think a lot of it is it's due to the club coaching. You know, we got these college wrestlers now running clubs, good ones, Strip Matters and Lawrence's. I mean, these guys are national champions, guys that are coaching little league clubs, and the development's just so good. You got Ben Askren, you got Izzy, you got all kinds of them. Daniel Cormier, Olympians running high school programs, and that's what we've been dying for this sport to get to forever. To give back to it, put these high level thinkers in these positions, and look where wrestling goes.
It's exciting, man. And you know what I love too about Oklahoma State is that you guys are constantly expanding the schedule. Like you're basically wrestling Big Ten. You start with Minnesota. I know John's been doing that duel forever with Minnesota. And that's an early duel in the year. It used to be, at least. I don't know if do you guys still do that one or no?
Yeah, I think right now as of right now it's on the schedule. We're kind of playing with something with our schedule, possibly going to Vegas this year instead.
Oh, that'd be nice. Yeah.
Yeah, we haven't been there. I think it's not for sure yet. It's I think we'll know here in the next couple weeks, but it's an early season tournament and we want to hit some of those East Coast schools, Cornell, Virginia Tech, Ohio State. We don't see them till the national tournament, and I think it was a kind of a plan of ours to get out there early and throw our guys to the wolves and see what we're made of. And then you can readjust as the year goes on. And with dual meets, like, all right, he might not be ready. Oh, he needs to get here. So I think that's something our plan is right now. We're going to Italy again. I know that.
Oh, nice.
That's not 100%, but the Italy versus North Carolina State duel is probably going to happen again. So just trying to put ourselves in some scenarios to have some matchups for the NCAA tournament that we need to have.
I'll nominate myself official podcaster for the Italy trip if we need to.
Yeah.
Fucking, I'll go to Italy. You kidding me? Shit.
Yeah, no joke.
Man, it's funny because like you talk back to that some of those duels, like when you guys used to go to the St. Louis Open, Askren and Pendleton wrestled in like a high school gym the day before the St. Louis Open. Now we're going to Italy. It's like
it's like I said, I used to go to the Omaha Open and the Lindenwood Open and all those things, and here we go. We're going over the seas now.
Absolutely. Just a few more questions for your coach, and we'll let you go. Heading into this year, we got some new rule changes. What are your thoughts? Where do we stand?
I like it. I mean, 3-point takedown, it's good. You know me, I just go with it now. The rules seems like the rules are changing every year, so you got to adapt and adjust. 3-point takedown's good. People like watching wrestling on their feet. When you watch kids work out or you watch coaches run practices, most of the work's done on their feet anyway. I mean, you're coaching that way. We don't put much emphasis on top and bottom. It's not a structured practice just for that normally. So Let's do it. It helps freestyle, I guess. I mean, with continuing to move forward in freestyle after the folk style season, if you're focusing on your feet. But I like it. I mean, I don't know. I just go with it now. Right. It's like every year there's this new stall call, or you can't put your hands here. So I'm like, all right, let's just do it. Make the adjustment, and we'll figure it out.
It's funny because freestyle is in a pretty stable place in terms of the rules. The new rule this year with the caution and one was a little squirrely, but in general though, pretty good. Would you have added push out to folk style or no?
No, a push out is how aggressive of a point is that you're not shooting, you're not even on the offense. It's sumo, and it's not me being mean about it. I know people will be hard about my opinion on that. It's just like, all right, guys, I don't believe if you can push somebody out of a circle, you deserve a point. I mean, it's just, I think if you take an offensive attack and you push them out of bounds, okay, great. But there's just too much that would allow you not to have to wrestle and you can just push and without taking shots. And we want to watch the best wrestlers attack and shoot and put up points on the board, but to deserve points and you could possibly win a match by just pushing guys out of bounds. I don't know how. I mean, it's almost like I said, it's like being in sumo.
I worry what would happen to the scrambling too, because I love those scrambles, on the edge. And yeah, I don't like grounding. I hate grounding. It's really ugly.
Yeah, I kind of saw that overseas a lot, and the guys are mastering it,
Oh, yeah.
Where okay, there's 45 seconds left and I'm up by one. I can back up, and I can just drop down. And how's this guy going to jump? If he tries to go behind me, I'll stand up and walk him out. And now I'm up two. And they're great at it. Actually, I would say foreigners are twice as good at it as we are. We're not good at it because we panic. We jump and then we get on our knees and we almost get ran up to our feet and give caution to one, like you said.
So they got no ego involved. They'll drop down. They don't give a shit.
They don't care. They don't give a damn. And I don't even know who I watched the other day. It was like 40 seconds left. It was somebody overseas. And I mean, this dude, straight from the whistle, went backwards, stopped his feet, and was ready for the guy to come in and try to. It was an Iranian did it to him, underhooked him, and he just dropped down. It's like the dude, he's like waiting on him to run the corner. And I don't know. I mean, I don't know. It's a stall tactic, and I'm probably the last one to talk about stalling. I did it, so but it is what it is. It's like they're playing the game, they play the system, and it's till. I mean, you got to play the rules. It is what it is. People don't like it. They might boo you. They might think you're a boring wrestler. You got to play the rules to be great.
Well, you talk about in our first podcast, your first NCAA title. I think it was just nail biters all the way through, and then your second NCAA title, you really opened it up. But yeah, that's what that first time through. How tight was it for you to get through there?
Oh God, I think I wrestled every match in overtime from round one to the national finals.
Your parents, man, I feel bad for them.
Oh, my dad! I've never seen my dad cry in his life, and he's in the stands crying. I'm like, well, I get it now. At first, I was like, is he just happy? No, he's probably about to have a heart attack. So no, I was a little banged up then. I had an injury, and no excuses, but I had an injury that kind of kept me from really being able to pull the trigger. I hurt my elbow the week before at Big 12s. I was wrestling weather, popped it pretty good, and just never been hurt. And I'm trying to win my first national title, and it wasn't anything crazy, but trying to win my first national title, the pressure, knowing I have an injury, barely winning all year already when I was healthy. Now I'm second guessing myself all of a sudden, and it's like just a lot of I don't even really know how to explain when the way I won. It was so ugly. It was like whatever. Just how are you still winning? As the tournament went on, I remember the guy at first round was 14-16 and I'm in overtime. Just like what is going, and I'm the number one seed. It's like, wake up, dude.
Just gritting it out, man. God.
Yeah. The hard part is it wasn't even gritting out. It was like ugly wins. I don't even like steal one at the end or something. You're doing 5 of these. How are you doing it? Yes, God's on my side that weekend.
Yeah, no, definitely, man. And you mentioned your dad, and obviously you come from a long line of wrestling champions. Your brother, first and foremost, your dad back in the 80s for the Cowboys and some of those legendary teams. What was it like growing up for you? Were you basically doing an RTC from like 8 years old on because you grew up so close?
Yeah, pretty much. I'm so fortunate. And honestly, if I would have never won, I don't know if I'd be in the sport because I felt like, I've seen it all. I've had so much more than every other kid. Just being, I grew up sitting on the wall when I was 5 years old watching Teague Moore, Eric Guerrero. All these guys, I've watched them all. And it's like, they used to grab me after practice and just beat the hell out of me. and just run. I mean, like I grabbed a national champ every day when I was a kid, and name another high school kid that's got the opportunity to do that growing up, and or another kid. So it was. I had everything. I'd seen it all. I knew everything. I even got to see the hard times, good times, bad times, relationships when they were in college, and so yeah, I've been in that room since I was 5, and Stillwater High. I got to watch my brother grow up a little bit. We had a lot. I was very, very fortunate to get to see the things I've seen, and it's helped my coaching career 100%. Without that, I don't know if I could even be a good coach, because I've watched John's good times, bad times, great
Mm-hmm.
times. I watched him go on the run, and it was like, or that run for years like that, and all the ups and downs. And then I'm now I get to be part of the ups and downs, and just very fortunate to have that opportunity, and I'm very grateful.
How old were you when the four-peat happened?
That was Mark was in college there, so that was kind of a weird time. Mark was at Iowa, so I'm like, all right, now I got to go over here and sit in the Iowa section with Mark. I mean, like, and kind of root for Mark, and then I'd run over there to the OSU section and sit over there. So I'm kind of being
Oh, wow.
yeah, I'm kind of over here playing both sides of the fence, and I'm like, all right, this is awkward. And I was kind of getting to the age where people actually knew I wasn't wrestling. I was about probably 15, or 14. So I was having success in like little league tournaments and stuff, and so everybody's starting to ask, like, are you going to go to OSU, or are you going to go to? I'm like, dude, I'm not going to Iowa. Mark and me, we're two different people, but
That was even
uh,
a thought in your mind?
they never recruited me really, which is crazy. And I get it. At the time, I think they had a guy at my weight, a good guy. I don't remember. He was number 1 in the country. That kid out of high school. Maybe Grant Gambrel. We used to wrestle each
Oh,
other.
yeah. From Iowa City
And,
West. Yeah.
yeah, and he was good. And it was just. I think they kind of at that time there was no need for me really, or I mean they had already had a guy that was pretty successful. And
Did you wrestle Evans too? Or was he after you?
yeah, I wrestled Mike Evans, Lofthouse, and I never wrestled Gambrel. He got hurt, had a neck
Yeah,
injury.
he did get hurt. Yeah.
Those are the only 2 I wrestled: Evans and Gambrel, or Lofthouse.
But when you're at the NCAA's, your brother's wrestling Hendricks, obviously. But you're deep down a diehard Cowboy fan through and through. Like, no party is cheering for the Hawks outside of Mark winning.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it was. Yeah, was I happy for him when he won a team title? Yeah, because I know what that meant to him. When they won that title, I was. If OSU couldn't win it, yeah, I was going for them at the time.
Oh, yeah. Brands came in after that.
Yeah,
Man, those were crazy years.
yeah, that was kind of the end of the era with OSU winning too. Those guys have been out about 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
Those guys, the good like Zach and Coleman and those guys, they were, or not Coleman wasn't out yet. I think it was Zach and Johnny and Jake Rushholt and Mako, and they had been out about 2 years. So, and they were training for the Olympics. So it's kind of into that era where they were on that peak or the run.
Yeah.
And I knew my brother's whole goal after he won the first title was like, I got to get a team title. I don't care how we do it. And
Yeah.
I wish, I mean, yeah, I was rooting for him for sure to win it.
Yeah. Well, you mentioned it, man. Zach Esposito out of Stillwater. What a legacy he left. Let's just wind down with this, man. Talk about impact he's had on you and your thoughts on him heading to Colorado.
Zach's he's been here 20 years, and I've grown up watching Zach. He went to school with Mark at Blair, and Zach's great, man. Zach, he loves the sport of wrestling. He knows so much about the sport of wrestling. Zach coached me my senior year for Hal. And he really, without him, I'm not sure I could have won it. Just gave me that attention. Really gave me a lot of encouragement. Like, this is how we're going to beat him. This is what we got to do. And John had to run the room, and Zach really just isolated himself with me to go get this guy. Like, well, this is how we're going to beat him. And I really appreciate everything he's done for me and everything. I've worked with him for the last 7 years, and Zach's a wizard when it comes to freestyle and technique. I mean, absolutely knows everything, knows all the Russians. I mean, he could break them down, and he's really, really, really good at that stuff. Like one of the best I've ever seen at it. And
Wow.
and I've been a lot of good people. Yeah, just really knows the sport and the skills of foreign wrestling. I mean, I never really got caught up into foreign wrestling that much because I was just like, I don't know. I was always a folk style guy. I grew up, and I never really wrestled much freestyle when I was a little kid.
Mm-hmm.
And he can break it down to a T. You know, he really helped D Lockett this summer go win a world championship. Um,
That
just
kid's insane.
yeah, yeah, he's good, and hopefully we keep him home here in Stillwater. But Zach really, I mean, D made jumps in the last 2 weeks. Was training with him, and I mean, working out with him in the RTC, and um, a lot of good things. And so I really appreciate everything they did. Their families are great people. He's going to do big things there. I'm just telling you guys, these kids, the development part of it, that's his area, and he's really good at it.
It's awesome, man. It's so cool to see the lineage. You got the great Ernie Monaco. You got John Smith. You got like the lineage that he's going to be taking to those U15, 17, and 20 teams. Awesome. And man, future's bright for Oklahoma State. Chris, it's been an honor to have you on, man. It's so good to see you again, brother.
Yeah, appreciate it, man. Thanks for everything, and go Pokes.
Yes, sir. Take care.